Story begins when our protagonist visits his uncle, who has just woken up from a coma after 17 years, only to find him speaking gibberish.
グランバハマル
Meet Takafumi and his uncle, Yosuke. Yosuke claims to have been in an alternate world called Grand Mammal for the last 17 years. Takafumi stares in disbelief, believing his uncle must be suffering from mental damage. Sensing his disbelief, his uncle tries to prove to him he went to another world by using magic. He chants in a strange language, but nothing happens, much to Takafumi's dismay. Takafumi tries to tell him about his financial struggles and inability to support him when suddenly his uncle triggers a wind spell while using Japanese, and Takafumi realizes his uncle was telling the truth. Yosuke is a nerd and asks Takafumi about the console wars situation and how Sega is doing. He becomes distraught when he learns that Sega no longer makes consoles. He immediately writes in his notebook and chants a spell. It cures Quora. Takafumi asks what a curious Quora is, and his uncle reveals to him that it's the memory erasure spell, which he uses whenever he experiences something unbearable. However, he writes it down in his notebook before erasing it. Takafumi asks to read the notebook, which he immediately regrets, causing him to break down in tears and ask his uncle to use Akira's Quora on him. A week later, Yosuke gets discharged and moves in with Takafumi. Meanwhile, Takafumi decided to monetize his uncle's powers and started posting videos of it on YouTube, which helped to generate some ad revenue. Later, Yosuke asks Takafumi why he has such a big apartment living alone, to which he replies that it was initially a room share setup, but it didn't work out. His uncle is surprised to hear the term room share, which he has never heard of, but is happy to hear Takafumi found friends to live with. Takafumi asks his uncle about his companions in the other world, to which he informs him he was mostly